The world is full of friends with fur who fill our lives with woofs and purrs, who seek our love and pets and snacks. And if you're cruel, they won't fight back. Well, if you harm your dog or cat, well, Scruffy Bumps does not like that. He moves about through darkened places, learning names and hunting faces.
Scruffy Bumps loves all his friends, and Scruffy Bumps will take revenge, and Scruffy Bumps knows where you are, and loves all his friends, and Scruffy Bumps will take revenge, and Scruffy Bumps knows where you are, and loves all his friends, and Scruffy Bumps will take revenge, and Scruffy Bumps knows where you are.
There we go. All right. There we go.
There we
start
go.
over now.
Start
Okay.
again. Go back.
What? No. So, hello, people of the internet.
Hello.
I'm American McGee,
I'm Martin.
and we were just spending an hour plus trying to fix our streaming rig here. And I said, but you couldn't hear me because the mic wasn't turned on, that I feel that if I'm watching a live stream, I'm not interested in hearing the streamers talk about the problems they have streaming. It should just be seamless and wonderful. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, like everything was working the last time we streamed, and when we come back and things are broken, like we literally didn't touch anything on this computer. It sits in this room by itself and does not get turned on between streaming sessions. So you would think like
It should be fine.
it should just be fine, right? It's like if you drove your car one day and then you parked it and then
There's echo.
and then you parked it and then you came back the next day and it was just broken, just sat there. Anyway, the thing we were trying to fix, which you probably can see, is that there's this delay, this little stutter.
Let us know, because we're seeing Streamlabs OBS pause for like a second every 30 seconds or so.
Yeah. So we also think this could have been a Windows update thing. We really don't know. Let's just get into today's stream, because we do have a lot of fun stuff to talk about and to show you. There's a lot of great art that has accumulated. Now, it's been almost a month, or it's been a month since the last time that we did a live stream. And so what happened? We had a giant Chinese national holiday that was Golden Week. And then we also had a bunch of stuff like my wife's mom's brother got ill, so the grandma had to rush back home. That left myself and my wife in sole possession of our little boy, and kind of threw a wrench into our schedules. And we also were setting up a new warehouse for Mysterious. And what else? There was a bunch of stuff going on. We had some travel stuff happening. So anyway,
Yeah, you went camping.
I went camping. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
What did you do during all this exciting stuff?
Worked.
Worked.
I was keeping an eye on Zendesk.
There you go.
It was all right. It was kind of casual. Been playing some games. Played and finished The Pathless. Played and got stuck at the end of Kenna, Bridge of Spirits.
Awesome.
And I'm currently playing Subnautica Below Zero.
Wow.
So we've done some gaming.
Well, I'm glad that one of us actually plays games, because I can't seem to find time to do that. So let's say hi to people in the chat here. I see a lot of our insane children, and I also see people over on YouTube who some of them may be insane children. I see Ghibli Girl is
Emo
here.
Nerd Queen's here.
Caitlin Bishop, Arter Zero.
Patient 322.
I'm always curious, what does the Arter_0 thing mean? I get Patient 322, but I don't understand Arter Zero.
It's some code from the lab they were created in, no doubt.
Who knows? Anonymouse75 is here from Aussie I hope you're not under some sort of draconian lockdown.
Why don't girls poop? They're here.
Shorty is in the house, says, is Ouchie supposed to smell like strong perfume?
I asked that, and I didn't get an answer.
You asked that where?
I think I was going to ask, but you were busy.
Uh,
They come with little perfume packets in the bag.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask if that was a one-off or is it a normal thing.
Yeah, we had some customers, and when I'm talking like some, I mean like 1 out of 1,000 or 1 out of 2,000 people would write to Martin and say, my rabbit arrived and it smells musty or moldy or something. And so we would then freak out and ask our warehouse to check the conditions in which they're stored. But we also found that there are some of the suppliers that we deal with, when they send samples to us, they will spray their toys with perfume, or they'll put little incense packets in there. So we thought, well, if that's a thing, then maybe we stick some smelly good packets in with our plush toys. So I think that only happened with like 1 or 2 in the line. Like it may have happened with Ouchie and something else. And then I think we stopped for some reason, but I don't remember why. So
Yeah, this person wasn't too happy.
mm-hmm.
They were one of those people, whatever. People have their own issues. Some people are affected by smells more than others.
Yep.
Yeah, this person, I think they said it made them want to throw up, so they had to put it out on the porch.
Oh no.
And I'm like, is that real?
All right. So we've got a couple questions in the chat here. Have you ever thought about making an autistic related toy? Yes, we've already done that. If you go over to Mysterious, there is a rabbit called the Hope Rabbit, so you could check that out. Someone, Vampy Misa, says, have you thought about doing a GoFundMe page for Asylum? We cannot do that. If we did that, EA would sue us to death. They've been very clear that we're not allowed to do any sort of crowdfunding towards development. Now, they've allowed an exception that we can do crowdfunding like Patreon towards pre-production, but we're not allowed to turn a computer on and fire up Unreal and actually start coding or putting things into a game engine, because if we did that, then they would sue us into the dirt. So that's not going to happen.
The legal realm is a tricky mistress.
Yeah, so Vampy Misa, you can stop repeatedly asking that question. The answer is no. All right.
We've got a hello from Peru.
Wow.
Hello, Peru.
Hello, Peru. I'm sorry to tell you, we recently removed your country from the places to which we ship. And it costs a lot of money.
Don't blame us.
Don't blame us.
Global shipping chaos.
Yes.
Sorry.
All right. So I think we're good saying our hellos. So we're going to do art review. We're going to play some Madness Returns. What are we giving away? We didn't actually decide what we're going to give away as prizes today. Maybe that could be the question for people. It doesn't have to be the prize question, but why don't you tell us in the chat what you would like as prizes today?
Well, I thought maybe we just give them a choice of something from Mysterious up to a certain value. Let them.
The prize is you can choose anything from Mysterious that costs $50 or less. Is that your idea? All right. Let's see what they think about that. I think that's okay.
Yeah.
So did we launch Alice Madness Returns in the background? We did.
Of course I did.
All right, well, I'm going to switch
Super
over now.
professional
It has
guy.
been a month since we've touched this game. I'm not even sure if I remember anything about it. Do you?
I think there's a knife.
I think there's something like that going on. There's a girl, and then she's got a knife.
She's got a knife.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to jump back into this. I will be very rusty, I'm sure.
Let's go.
So there's some questions coming into the chat here. Shorty in the house is asking about Rage Rabbit. And I know that Yin is working on Rage with Jennifer.
So that would be the Blood Bunny? Or the actual... Oh, no, the Red Rage Rabbit.
Yeah, the one
right.
that the head pops off of.
Right.
So that one is in pre-production right now, but that Golden Week holiday did disturb the flow of getting things done. And I think Yen told me the other day she had some funny ideas for doing some sort of update to that. So she is working on it. But I suspect that between the upcoming kind of like Western holidays, and then there's going to be a big Chinese holiday around Chinese New Year, that it may be well into February or March of next year before those new rabbits appear. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll try to go faster, but you know, from the moment where the rabbit is done in a prototype, it usually takes about 1 month to manufacture them. And then of course for shipping and all that kind of stuff, it can be another month before you get them to people. So
True dat.
you don't want to be shipping out new stuff in December. That's something to be aware of.
Yeah.
Somebody just played a weird sound in my ear.
Who was it? What was it? Was it a fart?
No, it was like a some kind of like a war battle cry thing.
Okay.
I guess they're just trying to get me all excited for the upcoming battle here.
Somebody said that they might like to choose the Hatter jacket on Mysterious. Didn't that get sold?
That would be a funny joke if we didn't already specify that you have to choose something that costs less than $50.
It didn't. I thought it got sold.
It did get sold. So that goes back to the question that the person asked about whether or not we have a autism rabbit. That jacket sold to the same guy that runs the foundation behind the autism rabbit. So yes, that was the thing there.
Somebody asks, is it possible to play this with a controller? It's scrolled past. I didn't see the name. Sorry, but Arta0 has already replied. Yes, and he's doing very well. I'm hiding it under the table.
I'm hiding it under the table because if I don't, people complain about the clicking that gets picked up through the microphone.
Clickety clacketing.
Yeah, I'm trying to help everybody out here by not holding the controller up.
Rouge Bats. I really love your game, guys. Really was part of my teenage years.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you, Rouge. What? Rouge Bat?
Rouge or Rogue? Rouge. I'm going to say Rouge. Yeah, why don't girls poop? Somebody did buy the jacket. Good looking jacket.
It was a nice jacket. I felt a little weird giving it away or selling it, I should say, because it was given to me as a gift by the original designer, the Dr. What's his name? Dr.
Romanelli?
Romanelli, there you go. Thank you. So he gave it to me at the Alice Madness Returns launch event in Los Angeles. One of the reasons I gave it away is because it was just sitting in my closet. I just never even looked at it, and I kind of felt like it probably would be a better gift or a thing to have in a collection if you're really into the game and you're a big fan. And so, yeah, it just kind of felt like, why do I need that? I've got a ton of Alice's stuff. I don't need that particular piece, you know? I don't know, I guess that's a little weird.
Yeah, I get that, giving away a gift. Selling a gift.
The thing is, like, over the how many years now? I started making games when I was 20, so I'm gonna be 50 in 2 years. So over the 30 years of making games, I've collected a lot of stuff related to the games that I've worked on. And if I held on to all of it, the whole house would be full of stuff, right? And I actually try to be a bit minimalist, like I've talked about that before, having the rule that if I don't touch something for a year, then I'll typically throw it away. That doesn't include like my kid or stuff like that, but if something doesn't get used frequently enough, it'll go in the trash.
There you go. Well, Ghibli Girl says, ooh, the good part is coming up. Is this the good part?
I mean,
Ghibli Girl?
This is the cake eating scene, is it not? Yes.
Oh,
Here we
you're
go.
gonna stomp on him.
Good, because I hate this guy, and it's not that I hate him for him. I hate him for the bad design that was thrown on him about that backwards camera running nonsense.
He's got tentacles. You can't hate him too much.
Well, okay, I don't hate him. I hate the design that he was saddled with.
Okay. Go!
No, he's got to do the comedic weapon drop first. Squish. That's kind of rude. Just step on him like that.
I don't know. He's been trying to kill you for like 3 different scenes, hasn't he?
He has. I mean, I'm not on his side, okay, but he definitely got what was coming to him.
Yeah.
So I remember during production that this... What's going on?
That's a picture of Alice.
That's a classic Ken Wong there. It really is. Only he would do that to the game. But it's cute though. I think it's all right. It's it's sort of childish. It's fitting. So during the production of the game, I remember this section of the game being really notoriously buggy. There was a lot of stuff that you could make look really stupid here. Like you could climb up on the walls and get stuck, and
Right.
it was, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of silly, But this was also there were moments of just kind of sheer random experimentation that the team would do of trying to see where they could push the tech, like this kind of stuff. So I remember having a meeting where the guys came into the room and they were like, look, we can spawn all these enemies, because there had been an update to Unreal that had come out that allowed sort of crowd mass enemy generation. Now, the time when that came out, that was fairly revolutionary. Like, Unreal had just put that into some sort of a beta or something while we were developing this game, and prior to that you couldn't get them all to appear on the screen because there was an issue with the number of polygons in the models and all this stuff. So that was pretty cutting edge to be able to spawn, like, 50 of a high-res little card guard model with all of his animations inside of Unreal. So you can imagine sections of like this of the game are just sort of like tech demo sections, right?
But some tech demos do eventually get fleshed out. I remember in the GameCube, when that was launched, and to show off its power, they had a demo called 100 Marios.
Right.
All running around, and that became Pikmin.
Pikmin, that's right.
I actually bought my GameCube because of Pikmin.
I
played it at a friend's house, loved it, went out, got a GameCube.
I think I might have bought my GameCube because of Pikmin also. I remember seeing ads for it, and it really intrigued me. So I think that might have been, I might have been on the same wavelength as you.
Great game.
It was a good game. Very good game.
Did you guys consider using id Tech 4 for Madness Returns? Asks Heidi something that scrolled past.
No.
There you go.
The reason is that we had already been working with the Epic guys. We had previously built a game called American Mickey's Grimm at our studio in Shanghai, and so all the developers inside of the studio were very comfortable working with Unreal because they'd spent 2 years building Grimm. We did a lot of episodes, and that was also a lot of kind of tech showcase stuff going on in that development. And we had a really good relationship with the Unreal guys. They have a very strong presence in China, a big office, a lot of my friends working there, and they do a lot of good sort of industry support, training, all kinds of stuff here in China. And meanwhile, id has zero presence, and id Tech has zero presence in China. So it's not just a question of like, would you consider it? It just wouldn't make any sense at all.
There you go.
Yeah.
Rouge Bats asks, what do you feel about the cosplayers who recreate Alice's dresses?
I think they're great. Why wouldn't we think that? Am I missing something here? It's telling me to stomp this, but I have stomped it. This feels a little gratuitous. How many times do I have to stomp this hard?
10.
And come on. See, this
something's not right.
Something feels wrong.
But yeah, cosplayers, fantastic. I like it.
Hey, there it goes.
Yay.
That was weird.
When they cosplay some of the concept dresses for Asylum. There's a couple out there. Somebody did the Ash dress, and
that's the Ash dress, not the ass
somebody
dress.
did Ass dress.
Now, so we do have a rule though about putting cosplayers, like repeating them on my Instagram. I often tell Martin, if you go to that cosplayer's sort of their personal page, wherever they're coming from, it's better if we don't see an ass dress. I don't mind if it's a little bit saucy, but sometimes some of the really good Alice cosplayers, they also happen to be like really saucy on their Instagrams.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a prude. I don't really have a problem with it. I don't know. I just worry that like somehow EA or somebody's going to get offended, and then so we just try to avoid the controversy by not posting those.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have like a Alice After Dark kind of channel.
You should set up like a new Instagram, American Nights, like Baywatch Nights.
Alice in Nightland. There is a surprising amount of naughty Alice stuff out there, which is doubly surprising considering the sort of theme of the games is anti-sexual perversion stuff. But I don't know. People don't seem to have any sense of what would that be? Irony?
Yes.
Sense of shame. I think the word I'm looking for is shame.
But yeah, who was... I'm trying to remember the name of the cosplayer who did the denial dress. The yellow one with the ripped back.
Right?
She did a fantastic one. Yeah, sorry, can't remember the name. I see a lot of names of cosplayers. So yeah, sorry. But they're out there, and they're pretty damn good.
I'm not a big fan of these animations of the sort of swinging. They look a little goofy, I guess.
Which ones?
This. She looks very like spaghetti armed, you know? Sort of SWAT.
It's fine.
It's okay. I just think it could be a little better.
Okay, go back. We'll do a patch.
Sure. Anti-spaghetti arm patch.
We need maximum spaghetti arm patch.
Oh, that
It's
would
like
be
wangling all over the stage.
That sounds good.
This section goes on for a while.
You've got to pull out the one tentacle in order to make all the other ones recede. And then you hear the queen screaming about it. No, not my tentacles. But see, what the hell?
There you
That one
go.
blew up in one stomp.
Bug.
I just don't think that there's a lot of logic in this kingdom.
Solo Wolf 23. I really love your design of Alice and her dresses to not be sexualized, as I found it refreshing as a woman video gamer growing up.
Exactly.
I think a lot of people have praised the game for that.
That's where I kind of feel that the people who do the funny sexualization stuff are kind of missing the point. But again, I'm not one to sit here and tell them that they can't or shouldn't or whatever. Look, you know, if you buy a product and you decide that that's the way you want to embrace it, I don't, you know, whatever. Anything can be a dildo if you're brave enough, you know. I'm not here to tell you what not to stick where, but it does seem like an odd choice.
Expect to see that on your Wikipedia page.
Yes, American says
American
that
quotes.
of the new Alice game, anything can be a dildo if you're brave enough. I mean, my point is, as a libertarian, I believe that you should have the right to basically, you know, do what you want with the things that you purchase. So people want to do that. That's their fandom. That's fine. It's not my place to tell them to stop.
Okay, there you go. You all have permission. You heard it here first.
Permission to what?
Use anything as anything.
There you go. You shouldn't have to ask for permission for that, though. We live in a free society, don't we? We live in a society.
Yeah, a lot of people enjoying that quote. Ooh, what's this bit? Looks like you get into the end.
We're getting close. We've been stomping her little ground hearts all to death. It's almost like she built her castle area to be a series of game obstacle challenge arenas that you should go through and stomp on the hearts. I feel like if she didn't want someone taking over her castle, she just wouldn't have designed it like this. What's that mummy head doing there? What are you doing? Would you like a slap?
Take that.
Slap. That'll teach you to dress me sexy. Slap, slap. All right. Take that. Well, we're
Punch
getting
that. Or slap it with your spaghetti
I like
arms.
how she's yelling at me to cease and desist, but I'm not really listening. Oh man, that's rude. Her Eye of Sauron.
That is quite Eye of Sauron-y.
It is. There you go. We've done it. We've cleared the stage. Why do you think you should drink that? Was that like eyeball juice? Who even told her to do that? That was really weird. Why did she just drink that cup of random liquid?
She just got really thirsty, stomping on stuff, and just had to drink the next thing she saw.
That was bizarre. Was there some sort of a section earlier that said drink the random cup of liquid? Did I miss that part?
There's also a section that says that you can't be in a red dress when you're giant. Like,
Maybe. I must have missed it.
must have.
Where somebody said, go retrieve a cup of weird eyeball juice and drink it.
Probably.
All right. All right. Well, we've kind of made it to the end of a chunk there. So I think we can stop and give away a prize.
We can.
Let's do it. And we've decided that the prize will be whatever you choose from the mysterious shop that costs less than $50. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
So we need to ask a question. I've got one. Literally nothing to do with anything we've said today or what's going on. It's a good question, though. It's kind of relevant.
Go for it. Why is this showing up and down stuff happening?
We are... Twitch is still showing.
Let's stop that.
Okay.
There we go.
The space race
Yes.
does, like, you know, billionaires having rockets as toys kind of move us forwards as a species and society.
I think that Etheria Prism just came up with a much better question,
Well,
which
that's
is
mine
what
now.
can be a dildo? See? Okay,
Well,
what's the question?
the Blue
Yes.
Origin rocket, perhaps.
It does look like a giant flying dildo. I mean, we would not be the first to make that comparison.
No, so you see a lot of people thinking, oh, it's billionaires and their toys, spend it on something good, give it to charity. Ugh. But on the other hand, the more they go up, the more they learn, the more the rockets improve, the more the price will come down. What's your stance? Billionaires pissing about or forwarding mankind? What are we seeing?
What do you think?
I think it's fine. I think it's all right for them to go up and muck about with people who pay for tickets and celebrities to get it kind of in the public eye, and they are learning as they go. It's going to make it safer, it's going to make it cheaper. I think it's all right.
Good. Well, so I watched Captain Kirk / I don't know. Let's just call him Captain Kirk.
Let's call him Kirk.
It's funny too because during the Blue Origin, Blue launch of putting him in space, the announcers kept calling him Captain Kirk, and I'm like, I wonder if William Shatner gets tired of that. And it's funny because they did this interview with him, and he said, yeah, there's a lot of people that are really interested in who I was as Captain Kirk, and they assume that I have all of the knowledge that Kirk had, but in fact, he says, I don't really know much about space other than this is going to be really cool. I get the feeling he's a bit annoyed by it, but anyway, he seemed to be a good sport, and I was glad to see him go up in space and come back down, and he didn't blow up, and he didn't die, and that's fantastic.
As a 90-year-old,
That's really cool.
feeling those G's.
That's really,
he
really
did
cool.
well.
So, here's the thing. Like, I often see people complaining and saying, Bezos's wealth, he could feed everybody on the planet kind of stuff. The problem is that the way that they calculate the wealth of these people is also a function of the wealth of the entire holdings of Amazon. So in order for Bezos or somebody like him to realize the wealth of $40 billion, they would have to liquidate Amazon as an asset, right? And not only would that mean, like, there's no one in the world that could purchase it for that amount of cash in the first place. So it's kind of an illogical thing. But then the whole problem of distributing and how the sudden creation of all that money and then trying to inject it into, look, these guys, I've got problems with all of them. I've got problems with wealth inequality in general, but you do have to keep in mind that a lot of these guys are hugely philanthropic, whatever. They give away a lot of money to charities. And so I don't think that they're doing nothing, but beyond that point, and maybe you don't agree with that at all, I do think that the push to put, technology to go to space and all the materials research that goes into that, it is beneficial to mankind as a whole. So even if it's being done by evil, sort of Dr. what's the one from the Mike Myers movies? What was he called?
Evil.
Dr. Evil. Evil Dr.
Evil Dr. Evil.
Evil Dr. Evils, at some point, as long as the technology that's being created does trickle its way down to us, then yeah, it's beneficial. So what
People seem to be 50-50, it seems.
Yeah.
I remember something. I'm just going to butt in a little bit there. All the money that gets spent on NASA. People complain, oh, this telescope costs like $10 billion to put into space, and oh, it costs $20 billion to get to Mars. And it seems so obvious, I don't even know which scientist said it, it's like, we're not just putting $20 billion into a suitcase and firing it into space.
Right.
We are purchasing materials from
Yeah.
American companies that pay taxes. We're paying wages.
Right.
We're like, it's not just a suitcase of money
Wow.
jettisoned from Earth.
Well, I just want everybody to know that we've now found a hot button topic, obviously, for Martin. This is something I've never seen him be so excited before. Now, I also
like
want
tech and space.
I want to point out that Nightbot, which was your responsibility, doesn't seem to be working.
It was working.
It's not working. So everybody keep chatting a bit in the chat. Chat in the chat. It's not working. Oh, there it goes. There's Wendy. We just roll it now and Wendy would win.
She would.
All right.
Let's not tell them how many people are on there when we roll it, and nobody will get mad.
You know, but it's a good, actually it's a good question. This is one of those questions that doesn't have an answer that satisfies everyone, and it turns out that there's a lot of questions in the world we live in today where it's very difficult to suggest that there is one correct answer that satisfies everybody who might join into the conversation. Because I saw plenty of people in the comments just now, right now, make comments about paying a fair amount of taxes, or sort of quibbling over what their value is and how it could be converted into helping people, and that's fine. I'm not gonna make a big rant about that, other than to say I find that a lot of people find it very difficult to agree with one another these days. That's my contribution to the conversation. All right, we're gonna roll it, and it is Craig Spurlock. Congratulations, Craig. Now, Craig, what you'll want to do is go over to Mysterious and browse around all of the products that are for sale there and find something that costs less than $50. I suppose that someone's going to write to you and say, I want the Anxiety Rabbit pullover set. Can I apply my $50 to that and pay the difference? Someone will do that. So the answer is yes. Just to make it really easy, just assume you've just won a $50 gift card to Mysterious, and you can apply it towards something that costs more than $50, but you have to pay the difference, or you can find something that costs less than $50.
I could do that. I could just make a $50 discount code to give to the winner.
Look at that. See how easy that is. So you can go and grab any of these crazy things over there. Scruffy Bumps or OCD Rabbit. We sold out of Anxiety Rabbits, so if you want one of those, you gotta wait a couple weeks.
Get Numb Bunny. Numb Bunny's great.
Numb Bunny is doing quite well. All right, congratulations.
Congratulations, Craig Spurlock.
So, art review. Let's do art review. Art review. We have a ton of art to look at, actually. Look at this PC. Look what it's doing. Isn't that cool?
You might have to.
Okay. All right. So the PC is having fun. Yeah, here we go. So art review. This is an image by Adam. This is showing a scene where obviously Alice fights the Jabberwock. This is happening in the Mad Hatter's domain, and this is kind of the final scene of Alice inside the bubble, inside the what's the thing I'm going for? Snow globe.
Snow globe.
Oh, it's been a while since we've had a live stream.
It's been a while since I used words.
Words. Actually, I've been using a lot of Chinese words, so I tend to forget my English more and more. It's terrible. And then Omri did a really nice paint over of this. And
it's similar to those other ones.
Yeah, so that's the thing. He's kind of putting together a series of these. Now, I can't say if there's one that I like more than the other. I quite like them both. Yeah. And what else is there to say about this? I did tweet this out that I really like the design of this platform. I think we talked about this on the last live stream, because the way that they designed it is that there are these chains coming out of the mouths of all the Wonderland characters that are holding the platform up, and I kind of suggested that that's an interesting allegory for the world of illusion in which she lives, being supported by the lies and the words of the people that surround her, which is a good kind of reference to the overall theme of the game.
Miss Crimson Mischief asks, why does the Jabberwocky look like he has a cat face? Zoom in, enhance. Let's take a look.
Why can't he have a cat face?
I'm not seeing it.
If you have a cat that looks like that, I'd like to suggest that you don't have a cat. Or if your cat does look like that, I recommend you maybe get rid of it.
Maybe they're just looking at the Cheshire Cat thing at the bottom. I don't know.
I don't know, but that's the face of the Jabberwock, and I'll just repeat myself. If your cat looks like this, you might want to get a new cat.
Yes. Am I the only one seeing that? Yes.
I, I I mean, if you said to me that that looked kind of like the face of a gerbil or something, like some sort of a rodenty thing or a snake, I might have got on board with that. But it doesn't look very catty to me.
The moccasin says it looks like a chupacabra.
Exactly.
It does.
Yes. All right.
So,
there
yeah,
you go.
there you go.
Awesome art being produced by Adam. Very happy with that stuff. I guess this was a kind of in the same line of sketches because we had a couple of different options for what the final one could be. And if you follow along in the past, you'll see that we use Monday as a platform for laying out all the tasks and then also going through them and giving instruction to the artists and then seeing the types of things that they do and commenting on those. So this was one of the early sketches. This obviously has Alice hiding behind one of the pillars, but yeah, in the end we decided to go with this one. This one's pretty cool though.
So this one, I remember, I think Omri mentioned it and I didn't really get it. They were like, he was pushing for like art done fast or something. Do you know what that was about?
Who, what?
I'm sure I've mentioned that. I don't know. Just I'm sure Omri just said something like wants people to do like art done fast, just to like get it done quick and see if it like gets the emotion juices running or something. Because there is sort of like speed art as a thing, isn't there? Like on YouTube and Twitch and whatnot.
Yeah, I guess. But I just would like to say that I'm not really sure that one of our artists said that, and if they did say it, it didn't make a really big impact on me. So sorry about
It's
that.
just a little remembering at the back of my head. I guess it doesn't matter.
Now that was, I know that Alex sent along some links to Monday, but I don't think there's one specifically to the thread in which this piece of art was being dealt with. Now this was, I think, Joey doing the initial sketch work for what became the throne room of Bill the Lizard. So it just kind of gives you a sense of the work that gets done. So it starts off pretty rough. I think I could almost draw this.
I reckon I could do that.
But it's funny, actually, we probably couldn't. Even in their roughest sketches, they have a sense of proportion and scale, and they have a sense of properly drawing characters with the right sort of like, 3-head, 2-head, all that kind of stuff. So maybe we couldn't. Now I couldn't do this, that's for sure.
Yes, definitely.
She's put quite a lot of really interesting detail into this. So this is on Alice's quest to retrieve the pieces of the hero. She's going to get the brain, which Joey has conveniently circled here.
She's on the path to making YouTube thumbnails.
She is, with a little red arrow. Most people don't know what this is.
You won't believe what this is thinking.
So this is getting towards the final image here. This turned out really great. This was my desktop background for quite a long time.
That's sinister.
It is very sinister. So this is when he's sort of at the height of his power. So the notion here is that there are a series of MacGuffins that represent the journey through PTSD and the elements of your psyche that you need to master control of in order to complete that journey. The eyes, the brain. And so Bill the Lizard has come into possession of the brain. And so Alice has to fight her way into his kingdom. Now he's using the brain to kind of create this giant temple of illusion, and then Alice will have to fight against these illusions of fears and doubts that he helps to manifest in this big boss sequence that takes place in this chamber. But once all of the illusions are defeated, then she comes face to face with Bill, and she will regain the brain. Regain the brain.
Regain the brain.
Yeah.
That's what the trophy should be called for doing this mission.
That makes sense. I like that. So this is
anything else hiding in that image? We got
lot.
a little skeleton dude at the bottom left, a pickaxe and some
Yeah, I feel like Joey could probably make so Lucky, my son, he's got a bunch of these books where there will be a very complicated image like this, and then it'll have a little sidebar, and it'll ask the kid to find, you know, the ant or find the brain or find the scissors or whatever. So this would be
Kind of Bucky Lane Lucky read. Find the brain, find the scissors.
What do you mean? That's what they are. They're scenes from, like, say, the inside of a hospital or a construction site or a park or whatever. So they have quite a lot of variety. The idea is to teach them a lot of different words. So there's nothing bizarre about that. I don't know that one of them has a brain, but for sure they have, for sure they have animals and they have scissors and things like that.
All right.
No. All right. Martin, you don't understand. You don't have. You need to go have a kid, then you can understand.
All right, I'll try.
Mm-hmm. Now, this was a piece of work that Alex did. He's working on a weapon design for Shadow Alice. Again, for those of you who have been following along, you'll know that Shadow Alice is the antagonist, kind of. At least she appears that way for quite a large section of the game. That Child Alice has to go up against, and she literally spreads chaos and destruction and nihilism and depression and all kinds of horrible stuff all around her version of Wonderland, and she's set upon extinguishing the light of the child so that she can complete her takeover of Alice's psyche. And along the way, she uses this scythe. Well, of course, we don't know exactly which scythe yet. Which one do you like best?
Maybe A. But for any of them, it looks like she's probably just going to really hurt her hands wielding it. You don't look comfy. So yeah, maybe A, but I also kind of like how sparse B is as well.
Right?
Looks kind of nice. Yeah, I'm not sure.
So I think perhaps, and Alex is going to be really mad at me because everyone should know that prior to this live stream, Alex did in fact set up a couple of emails in which he outlined various threads over on Monday, and he gave me links to them. But so, for example, when I'm looking at this particular image, the links he sent don't necessarily go back to the section where this weapon is described. And so if I wanted to go and find this and see Alex's notes on what it is that he was thinking about for the different designs, I wouldn't be able to do that. So sorry, Alex. Not your fault. I know it's written somewhere what your thinking on these was. And I can't remember if it was supposed to be that we decide between these, or perhaps these are the different styles that we see represented as you move through the game. Alex is in the chat there. He's laughing.
Yes,
Oh no.
Oh no. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. That's all right, Alex. No one's going to suffer for it.
Oh, Miss Crimson Mischief says D is nice.
I like D.
I know.
Everybody thinks that's very funny. I don't know what to say about that. It makes having conversations where we've labeled things A, B, C, D, whatever, quite silly. But
It does.
That's all right. So Shadow Alice, based on Harvest. So this was a piece of art from Omri, and I'm wondering if this is part of the thread. Yeah, so I know that Alex had taken the Shadow Alice design, and he was thinking about how to represent this character from the start of the game through the end of the game. The idea being that at the very start of the game, when you first see Shadow Alice, she's kind of indistinguishable. Like the very first time you see her at the very start of the game, she's meant to shock and frighten you, but you kind of shouldn't know that it's Alice. Now, I don't know. We've watched enough movies that normally within the first 5 minutes, if like the hero comes up across like a masked kind of scary beastie thing, you and I would normally be like, that's the hero. Like we just know that, right? I think most of us know that now. That's a pretty common writing trick, that when there's a amorphous shadowy beastie at the start of the movie, but it kind of could be the central character, then it's probably the central character. So
Probably.
So we are doing that, although it's closer to say that what you encounter at the start of the game is just an aspect of Alice's psyche. But anyway, back to the point. At the start of the game, you will encounter this aspect of Alice's psyche from the perspective of the child, and you will be seeing this sort of very smoky, unclear thing. Yes. But as you progress through the game and the child comes to learn more about the nature of the shadow and why the shadow is what she is, and also that she is necessary, then the shadow will become clearer and maybe a little bit less scary. I mean, I don't know. I'd still be scared, like if I walked into the men's bathroom and then like this she was waiting in there. I guess I'm all cool with gender neutral bathrooms and stuff, but I would freak the fuck out. So yeah. But yeah, so over time she's supposed to come a little bit less scary. And this was, I think, another variation on that, because I think there were some notes that suggested that the complete mucking up of her like this was going a bit far.
Right.
Yeah.
Alex in the chat did say the idea was for the sides to be like skins, player choosable.
Oh.
Should the player be able to choose for the baddie?
That is a little weird. Why? Yeah, I wouldn't. Is that a thing? Have you seen that where you can choose the bad guy's weapon skin? Oh, but do keep in mind there is a section. Spoilers. There is a section which happens after you clear through the Hatter's domain. After this fight, and then there will come a moment where you do play as Shadow Alice. So at that point, you would like to choose your weapon. So yeah, it does make sense. But like, I would just go straight for this thing. I just want the most over the top. I guess I should do this one. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
I just want the most over the top, shadowy, evil thing possible.
It is pretty OTT.
It is very over the top. If you want to know what she does with that scythe, like I said, anything can be a dildo.
No,
If you try hard enough. If you want to know what she really does with that scythe when you, the player, pick it up, then you could go over to Patreon and flip through the narrative outline, and you will learn. What?
Somebody said, I just saw the upside down skull. That's wicked. And there it is.
There it is.
Didn't see that it was an entire skull.
My boy likes to say to anything that involves biting. So he would see that and go, yeah, so.
Okay.
I don't think I want to play this game anymore, says Wendy. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so that makes sense why you would be able to choose the skin. Makes sense.
We have dabbing, but will Alice floss during the game?
That, I think Omri's probably drawn that once or twice already.
Yeah, sure. Let's have all the cringy TikTok dancers in there as unlockable.
I feel like one of them that he drew where she was doing some sort of
dodge.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm sure we could get Omri to do a floss dance for us. Yeah, Shadow Alice has been around since the beginning, so it's pretty cool to see her getting her own weapon and getting her design fleshed out, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
So moving on from Shadow Alice, so there are a series of images that are being done by Adam that depict memories that child Alice has of herself in her childhood home when her family have not yet been converted into barbecue. And this is among those images. So this is a scene. Now, I don't think these are in order. I don't think these are in proper order because this scene plays after we see the two girls playing around. They're kind of like horseplay.
But they've broken a cup.
They did. Is that a vase or a cup? I'm not sure. It doesn't matter because it has resulted in blood. And so the mom is there and she's got the scoldy mom face on. What are you guys doing? Anyway, this all links back to a section in the story where mom's scoldiness is linked to her avatar in the snow globe. And I shall not say more than that because it would be spoilery. Other than to say that a lot of the memories that you unearth with regards to childhood and the lessons that the child learns, and she's got her older sister by her side as she does that, will later link to the trials and tribulations and the lessons that she learns going through the journey of Asylum. So this scene helps to kind of build that up and cement it.
All right.
How
Cat.
dare you? Now,
Wow.
I've got a couple of issues going on here. Yeah, the cat. The cat is the true murderer in the story. These scenes have caused me a bit of a brain challenge, and one of the reasons is that having my own son now, and like yesterday, he was outside running, and he took a spill on pavement, and little kids don't know to put their hands out in front of them, so they use their heads to fall. So I don't know if you know this, but this is a true fact that children have a much thicker frontal plate in their skulls than we adults do. And so if you go look up the idea of children under the age of like 3 or 4 and concussions, you will read that a child under that age can better deal with a frontal impact to the head than an adult. And it's because the head is especially thick. And then you will realize that when you have a child, they really like to run and then fall directly on their heads. So it makes sense from an evolutionary standpoint why we would be evolved that way, because little kids are really dumb about just like planting themselves right on their heads.
Okay.
All that being said, in my experience, when my child falls and gets hurt like this, my reaction is much, much, much more like this. It's like, oh man, that hurts. So when he gets hurt, I feel hurt. I feel badly, badly hurt. And it hurts me to even look at his injuries. I want to cry. I want to, hold him and kiss it. And it's like, to see a mom who's like this.
Go, you and your cut
like,
open butt.
Lady, what's wrong with you? So unless we're trying to suggest that the mom is some sort of monster, I'm not sure that these poses are appropriate. Now, I get it that we're trying to set something up for later on, but I think we need to be really careful about the tough love and how it's communicated, so that it doesn't come out just looking like she's just a crazy bitch, and an angry one at that, right?
Oh, Lucky Dragon ponders that perhaps the memories are corrupted.
Nope.
There you go, Lucky Dragon. No.
They're not. So yeah, I think for me, we still are getting some of these things drawn, and but for me, I want to be careful that the sort of representation of the character of the mom takes into account that most parents are really crazy about, their children getting injured, and they tend to feel a similar kind of pain when they see that kind of thing happen. I really like this series. I think, didn't we talk about this series on the last live stream? Because there were some people that got upset at.
We did.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Is the boy one new though? I don't remember that much tentacle.
Well, they got updated.
Right.
They got updated.
Okay.
Yeah. So the boy has always been in the series, as have the other characters. But when we first presented this series, the boss butcher lady here, she wasn't in the original Instagram post, and so we had a couple of Karens who showed up.
They asked to see the manager.
Yeah, they wanted to see the manager. They wanted to know how they could get me fired, because how dare we suggest that the only profession for tentacle people in London would be prostitute. And of course, that was not what we were trying to suggest. And the people who do things like that, I think, are being incredibly disingenuous. They're being really unreasonable, because obviously the universe in which the game exists has never for once suggested anything terrible like that, nor has it ever been a game that's trying to put women down or to misrepresent or anything like that. But hey, if you can't manufacture some outrage every once in a while, you'd be really bored on the internet. So Joey did do an update, though, and so this is the updated image. It does include, and I made this point on Instagram, Joey decided all of this. So a female artist, and I guess in the parlance of the current day culture, also a person of color, she on her own, under her own power and her own volition, was given a gender neutral art task, and she decided which types of characters to create and how to represent them. And she decided that this woman should not only be a boss and a butcher, but that she should be the butcher boss, and like she should be the main central big baddie character of all this. So I don't know. I feel like left to her own devices, Joey knows what she's doing. She knows how to do representation quite well. And yeah, these all turned out super awesome. This though made me laugh because somebody on Twitter turned this into a screeching Karen meme. Let me see your manager, which I think is really perfect.
Did the face get updated as well? Did it look a lot more detailed and a bit more screamy?
She finished it all off. It's really good. It's really, really good. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Still lots of people talking about scythes.
Oh yeah.
And you know, would she have it as a weapon? Is it a weapon? And somebody earlier said it's for harvesting. It's quite cool.
It is. Well, we've always called the dress that Shadow Alice wears, or in the game, there is a harvest dress. So yeah. What's going on here? So Octo Chicken is saying that he likes the scythe. Tentacle people are reminding me of the Sinking City. You could make playing with cards in this series. What do you want to get trending on Twitter so American can put it in? What?
Something about Karens, I think.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I can never get anything trending on Twitter. As offensive and nonsensical as I try to be sometimes, nobody cares. So a lot of people are behind the side push. All right.
Yeah.
Alex is behind that.
Me too.
Yes. I like scythes. Okay. Good. Let's see if there's one more. How does he eat?
Look at the mouth.
Yeah, he just kind of pokes little bits in
He just
through there.
lifts that main tentacle up with another tentacle.
Yeah.
And then stuffs food in his mouth with another tentacle.
That's pretty good though. I don't think I really want to understand how it all connects together under the cap here. I feel physically there's something, but whatever. Let's not, this probably goes into some sort of Cthulhu-y other realm, right? There's like a portal in the top of his hat that goes through to like the upside down or something. I think so. She's really cool.
She's a good one.
She's awesome. Now, there's all kinds of jokes about whether or not you would pay her more because she could service you in more interesting ways. I don't know.
Maybe that could be the question. It is 11 o'clock.
All right. Well, if that's I'm going to leave that to you. I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot tentacle. So if you want that to be the question, you ask it.
I did have another question planned, but this one seems more interesting and possibly more get banned. So, what do you think?
It's up to you, man. I'm no part of it.
Let's leave it. Let's
Okay.
leave it.
So what is the question? We need to give
I
away
didn't
a
really
prize.
have it formed very well in my head, but it's when you mentioned, we watch movies and the person in the mask, you can kind of tell who it is. There's a lot of remakes happening these days, I've noticed. I saw last night there's a remake of, that's kind of a update of Scream, even though it's kind of, I